Welcome to Plant Based Homestead Prepper, where we make plants. Where we make prepping fun. I meant to drink me like 40 ounces of water before I left. I'll grab me some water while I'm out. I gotta get out of here. All right, guys. It's been a very busy 3 weeks. Okay, extremely busy 3 weeks, and y'all see I'm bundled up, and it's really not even that cold. However, things happen. Your body changes, and you got to go with the flow, right? So this morning, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining in, whenever and wherever you may be watching from. I want to come in and just talk real briefly, or however long it takes, about the weather, food. I can't remember what the other thing it said in the title was. But as we keep going through life, I believe that things are going to constantly be changing. That's one thing about life that is consistent, that there will always be changes. I was listening to the news a while ago, and they were saying that like next week is the official start of winter. Have you guys noticed that it seems like the seasons have moved up? For example, winter normally comes in like, December. Now winter seems to be starting in like October. And it seems like, I can't say it's lasting longer either, because I don't have enough data in my own life to prove it. And I haven't researched it, but I'm just going by what I feel, what I see, what I notice. It seems like to me, and I even reported this back in like July, August time frame. I was like, it seems like it's fall already, even though it should be summer. And during the summertime, it seemed like spring. Because see, I'm thinking back when I planted my crops, or my garden. I don't want to, make you guys think I have a farm. But when I planted my garden, we had a bunch of rain after I planted. We had another freeze to come in after I planted. And even though the back of the packages that I was planting, they were like, oh yeah, plant in March and plant in, latter part of February and early part of April, blah, blah, blah. I ended up having to plant, replant stuff in like May, which means it seemed like the spring had, just lasted too long or whatever. And then it seemed like to me that summer was short. And then fall came in early, and winter came in even earlier. And proving that, you can look at this Arctic blast or freeze or Arctic winter storm or whatever that is coming across the United States right now. And even up north, they seem like they started getting snow a lot earlier than normal. I got friends that are on the platform, and they're like, yeah, we're having snow right now. And this was like 2 months ago, which just seemed kind of crazy to me. And even if you don't believe in the solar minimums or the grand solar minimums or the minimums or anything as far as the sun, you've got to notice that the weather patterns have changed. The weather patterns have changed. And I'm not sure if anybody's going to be able to explain it. A lot of people are attempting, but to be honest with you, all of it is theory. All of it is hypothesis. Hello, who are you? Someone talk to you. Okay, hello, how you doing? Welcome, thank you for being here. And if you're new here, we only have 2 rules. The first rule is come in, and when you say hello, let us know what state and what state or country that you're watching from, and be respectful with your comments. Only 2 rules we have. And remember, it's a PG, crowd. We don't deal with a bunch of foolishness. But back to this weather thing. It just seems to me, and then like today, it's like probably 40 right now, and today it's going to get up to almost 65, and then tomorrow the highest will be like 68, and then the rest of the week is going to be in the 30s. Can you read while driving? No, I usually read while pausing while I'm driving. No, that's why I have my device way over there, so I don't read you guys' comments until I either stop or pause or whatever. But no, I don't read while driving. But great question. So now with the weather changing, and with us having, unpredictable, I'll say that, unpredictable climates, unpredictable weather patterns. With that happening, then of course it will affect the growing season, and it will affect us being able to grow and produce food. Hence, and if you do any kind of research, you will find out that a lot of the crops this year, 2019, were not able to be put into the ground because of the same thing I experienced, which was an unprecedented amount of rain. The ground was too saturated to plant, and then when you did plant, it didn't sprout and it didn't grow because of the saturation. And then when crops did grow, or when gardens did grow, they didn't mature because we didn't have enough quote unquote solar days. For every plant, for every crop, there has to be a minimum amount of what they consider solar days. I don't even think that's the correct word, but it's the amount of sun that it gets. And a lot of us didn't get that this year. We didn't get that at all. As a matter of fact, I planted corn 3 different times. And I got so frustrated that I cleared out a little extra spot in my yard, in my backyard, and I grew like 3 rows of corn. Well, corn is usually easy to grow, right? Well, in this instance, I cleared 3 little, and they were probably like I'm guessing 12 to 15 feet long, and there was only 3 rows of them. And this was just dirt, just untreated, grass grows out there. Well, grass and weeds grow out there. But I just wanted to try and see if I can get a better result, or what kind of result I could get from just growing, in a place where I hadn't really, worked my soil and treated my soil and all that kind of stuff. And everything, all 3 rows sprouted. They started growing, and they got about maybe 4 feet tall, and that was it. The ears that came on, they were like miniature ears. Now that's great for like soups, and if you just want to go out there and just eat some miniature corn, that's awesome. But if you're trying to, eat corn and feed your family and feed your animals and things like that, it wasn't much of anything. And I was totally shocked by that. It's amazing that you're not turning from the turning lane. How is this even possible? Have mercy. The things I see while I'm out driving. So, the corn that I did manage to grow in my garden, it got, I would say it got normal height, but then again, a lot of the ears never did mature. I believe I put out like at least 3 tomato plants. I know I did 2, and then I grew tomato plant from seeds, and I grew tomato plants from tomatoes. The tomato plants that I grew from tomatoes, they didn't do well at all. I mean, they grew, they sprouted, they grew, but the tomatoes that came off of them were very, very small, very tiny. And I did those with Roma tomatoes, and I did them with, did I even grow any big beef tomatoes this year? I don't think I did, because I don't remember having any salads with big beef tomatoes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. Okra I didn't have a problem growing okra. I love okra too, by the way, and I love okra raw now. I had never tried raw okra until last year. Oh man, raw okra is the best. It almost is like a pickle, without all the vinegar. What is this person? I swear, these people, wow, so amazing to me. Things that we do. So, with the climate changing and the weather patterns being different, we're going to have to learn to do things different. And different doesn't mean wrong. It just means different. So, a couple things that I recommend if you're trying to get past the food shortage, and you're trying to grow food during the food shortage, and you're trying to do things that you need to do during the food shortage, then these are a couple things that I suggest. Number one, I suggest you learn how to grow food indoors right now. It is winter. You can take, you can grow lettuce, you can grow tomatoes inside. I mean, there's so many things you can grow inside. You can grow and learn to farm and garden inside. You can grow microgreens inside. There's so many things you can grow inside your house right now. Get you some growing lamps. I just put me a growing lamp on order, and I believe I'm probably gonna order me another one because I have converted our back room into like a greenhouse, literally. And let me see, I got, as of right now, how many trees do I have back there? So I got the lemon tree, lime tree, grapefruit, and probably I had 3 or 4 avocado trees back there, but I moved some to the front. Yeah, so learn to grow some food, okay? So, number one, buy you some seeds and just stab at it, all right? Doing it on the inside. Get you some grow lamps, and then they have things that you can get now that you can set them up as like miniature greenhouses inside your house. So, those are a couple few things that you can do that's going to help produce more food for you and your family moving toward, going forward into the future. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't know if I'm not able to grow like I did last season, and I'm doing some things now. I'm working my soil a little bit different now to ensure that I'm giving the soil the nutrients that it needs right now, so that during the springtime, when the springtime comes, we won't have that. We won't have that much of a challenge. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna have a challenge, but I can do everything within my power to make sure we're able to grow food. Okay? And right now that method is going back to the back to eating method, which if you go out in the forest, you notice that things just grow. If you go out where people are not around, you go in the forest, things just grow. Trees drop their nuts or seeds or whatever, and bam, they go into the ground, and you see little seedlings, you see little trees, little small trees, immature trees, and boom, and you see large trees. Well, that happens because as things fall off the trees and as rain comes, the vegetation naturally creates a cover and a barrier over the ground. And you go out in the forest, I mean, you rake some leaves or you rake some pine straws and pine needles back, you see an overabundance of grubs and worms and all kind of stuff that is working the ground underneath there. Well, taking that same method and using that in a garden or a farm type area. Now, a lot of farmers are like, that's not going to work for a farm because they have to produce so much and they have other ways of doing it. But I grow organic. I don't use any kind of pesticides and herbicides and things like that. I don't put anything in my vegetation that's going to be harmful. And by doing so, I am growing organic. Texas in here. Good morning, Martha. And because of that, it is becoming harder to grow, especially organic. Because when you're growing organic, you got to fight not only the weather, but then you got to fight the insects. You have to fight the birds, the squirrels, the rats, the whatever little varmints come across, the rabbits, and eat your stuff up. And I look at it like this: when I put out plants and I put out veggies and fruits and things like that, I know I'm going to lose a certain amount. So I believe that 33 to 50%, I'm probably going to lose to creatures, whether the creatures, whatever. And I just chalk that up as that's just nature coming back and taking what's hers. Because it's remarkable to me that I can take a handful of seeds, of 25 seeds, right? And I can spread them out. And with those 25 seeds, I may not get 25 stalks of corn, but even if I get half of them, let's just say I get 10 stalks of corn. Each stalk is going to have multiple ears. You know, they're going to have 2, 5, 10, 12 sometimes ears on a stalk of corn. Same thing with tomatoes. You know, I can put 4 or 5 tomato plants out. I can start with 50 seeds, and I may only get 5 to 7, 8 tomato plants, but each plant is going to produce multiple tomatoes. You know, same thing with okra. I can start okra from seed. I mean, with anything that you're growing, when you start it from seed, your harvest is going to be way more than what that one seed produced. So, to me, it's the best investment you can ever have, because what does a pack of seed cost you? $1.99 maybe. I mean, that's if you're paying like retail for them. And you can start your seeds indoors, get them where they have a great root system, set them outside, and even if these weather patterns continue to be the way they are, I know for a fact, even at Aldi, year round, I can buy Roma tomatoes. I think they come 5, 6 to a pack for 99 cents. You figure you spent $1.99 on tomato seeds, and you can produce 5 to 10 tomato plants off of that. I mean, it's just the cost and the investment is crazy high. Good morning, Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome back. We're talking about weather, we're talking about food, and I can't remember what the last thing we're talking about. But we're talking about growing stuff right now. And I always recommend, if you're new to growing, if you're new to farming and gardening and all that kind of stuff, start with trees. You know, get you several trees. And right now it might be a little difficult to get trees, but you know, when it starts, soon as springtime comes, you'll be able to find trees everywhere. I'm talking about fruit trees. You'll be able to find trees everywhere. And I said, because I bought, I originally last year I think I had 5 to 8 trees. Now I have 21 in my backyard. And I said, you know what, that's enough. But after this season, I'm like, no, it's not even close to enough. What I'm going to do this year, I'm gonna do like I did same thing I did the last 2 years. When I see trees come out, and because I have trees right now, I'm good. But when everybody comes and takes their pick, and I see that trees start going down to 50 and 75% off, that's really what I stock up on trees. Now, I love peaches. You're not gonna be able to find any peach trees, but you may find you or you'll be able to find plenty of apple trees that way. Might be able to find you a cherry tree. I don't have any cherry trees. I'm gonna buy me some cherry trees this year. And what I'm learning to do, I learned this skill last year. I'm learning to take cuttings from my trees and produce. They're not even seedlings. They're cuttings, and then you get them to root, and they start growing and they start producing for you as well. So I learned that last year. I discovered that last year. I did it last year, and I still have some cuttings that are alive. Now, of course, granted, right now it's winter time. If these things make it through the winter, I know these are gonna be some awesome trees for me. And what is that gonna do? That's gonna ensure that when we get to our next location, which we're trying to desperately find now, with some property, that ensures that I'm going to be able to have plenty of trees. Figs are easy to grow. They sure are. I put a fig tree in my backyard, and when I cut it back last year, it was at like 8 feet. I cut it back, and I think I started the growth by doing it. I think I did it too late in the season, because as soon as spring started, I cut it back, but that thing still produced like crazy. I ate figs all spring and into the summer. Figs are amazing. And I plan on getting me a few more fig trees this year. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to grow some from cuttings, but I'm definitely gonna buy me some more fig trees. I didn't realize how good figs were, and in my research, figs are very, I think they're a high source of potassium. I think, oh God, don't quote me, okay? But I'm pretty sure, and it's been a while ago, when I was reading about figs, I want to say figs have more potassium in them per serving than bananas. I'm pretty sure that is the mineral. I could be wrong though. But I know it has a mineral that's really good for for a human being. So what I plan on doing this year, I'm going to make my garden. If we stay in this house that we're in, I'm going to make my garden. It's going to be 3 times the size as it was last year. I'm already working, 1/3 of it, and I've been doing this in stages. It's gotten kind of chilly outside now, so I really don't want to go out there and work it. But when everything dies off, all the grass and everything dies off, I'm gonna take the other 2/3 down, and I'm gonna put my brown paper down and put my wood chips on top, and we're going back to eating garden, and we're gonna grow some food this year. Now, if between now and springtime we actually move and we go to another place, I have a lot of things in pots where I'll be able to produce food. So if you're living in an apartment or a condo or somewhere where you don't have any kind of yard, you can always grow things in pots. All right, tomatoes you can grow in pots. I mean, most of my trees are in pots. I do not have 21 trees in my backyard. No, I have the big trees in the ground. I got 2 peach trees in the ground, an apple tree in the ground. So that's 4. And I believe everything else is in pots. Okay, so you can grow a lot of food in pots. And when they go on sale, that is one thing that I desperately try to find and pick up and get, because when things go on sale, because you got to understand that these companies are paying pennies on the dollar what they're charging for retail. And when you find things like gardening tools, hoes, shovels, things that are going to help you garden, especially hand tools, because see, if anything ever happens, we gotta have gardening tools that you can use by hand. Tillers and things like that. That's great as long as you can get gas for them. That's great as long as the grid is up and you can use that kind of stuff. But I really, the last 3.5, this is going on 4 years now. Last 3.5 years, I've done all my gardening with hand tools, and you can produce a nice amount of food. You can't produce a ton of food. You can if you're wise with it. If you start vertical gardening, and I know a lot of people do raised beds, but start producing some of your own food. Okay, it's going to be, I believe, in the next, I don't even want to say how many years, but I believe in the future, it's going to be imperative that you have skills, growing skills, so that you can produce food. I mean, I think that's going to be the new normal. I believe so. And then, wherever you live, start noticing and understanding your growing season and your weather patterns. And I can't say learn from my experiences, because I don't know what's going to happen this upcoming growing season. And also, start looking and considering getting yourself a greenhouse. That way you can grow things all time, all throughout the year. Let me see, what did you say? I have been going to garage sales to pick up garden. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. Good job, Martha. Martha says she's been going to garage sales to pick up gardening tools. That's amazing. You can go to secondhand stores. You can go to garage sales. You can find a lot of things that people are trying to get rid of and throw out at those kind of places. If you have that kind of time. I'm rather limited on my time, so I don't really have the time to be riding around when I see a garage sale to stop in and see what they have. But if you have that kind of time, by all means, yes. Thrift shops, secondhand stores. Those are amazing resources. Just make sure that whatever you're buying, make sure it's not dry rotted and all that kind of stuff, and it's in good condition. And gardening tools, I mean, you really can't, in my opinion, you can't have enough of them. I'm sorry, you can't have too many of them. Wish has some great greenhouse. I'm gonna check Wish. I looked at them about 2 weeks ago, and to be honest, I thought they were kind of pricey. But I'll check again. I'm gonna check again and just to see, because I think I can. Well, I have the skills where I can build my own greenhouse. Definitely for a lot cheaper. Now the question is, do you want to get out there and cut all the material and design the material and all that kind of stuff. And so you gotta weigh your time. You have to weigh your time. And when you're somebody like me where you don't have a lot of it, you know, a lot of times it's just best to go and buy the things already ready and then just bam, put it together. Because, you know, for me to take things out the box and put it together, it's cat quick. For me to get out there and, you know, okay, well, I'm gonna design it this way. I need to get my timber, do this. Am I gonna build it out of there? Am I gonna make it a permanent structure where I do a wood building, or am I gonna do it out of PVC pipe? Which, you know, knowing me, I would probably do it out of PVC pipe, just so I can bed, you know, so it's mobile. And then with me right now, I don't really want to be, honestly, I don't want to build anything, and I don't really want to put up anything because we're getting ready to leave the location we're in. And that's one more thing, or several things that I have to take apart to set up at the next place. So, you know, everybody's situation is different. I will give you guys a good little tip. If you're trying to start a garden, and if you have the time, like right now, if you have the time, of course you can use the back to eating method where you put the brown paper down. But if you want to go more conventional, where, you know, you want to throw some cow manure around and all that kind of stuff, then tarps, you can lay your tarps out. Make sure you put some kind of weighted bricks or whatever on the corners, and that will definitely kill kill the grass and the weeds. And after that, it really makes it easier. It's never gonna be easy. It's gonna make it easier to do it. Let's see what Martha's saying. Which has a great greenhouse. All right, cool. And well, PVC is light, true, and it could be moved easily. Yes, it could be. But if I was gonna make one out of PVC, I'm gonna make it more of a permanent structure, because I don't want the wind to blow through or a storm to come through and then, you know, just take it apart. So, you know, I would put it together where it's gonna be semi-permanent. How about that? Okay. Sorry, y'all. I was watching this cop. It looked like he was about to turn around. I'm like, I know I'm not doing anything except have a. Anyway, laws are changing. Just be advised, laws are changing. What are you guys' opinion on law enforcement? Do you guys really believe that law enforcement is deterring crime, or do you think that law enforcement is taking money from the law-abiding citizen? That's a question that I've been meaning to ask and been wanting to ask. Also, make sure you guys do your homework this week. We're on season 1, episode 6 of The Colony. Last week, you know, we did the review of episode 5. Episode 5 was absolutely amazing. I am so looking forward to watching episode 6 today. And I'm going with you guys. Whatever week we're on, that's the show I'm watching. Now, even though I've watched the show before, I am staying. I haven't watched it in years, so a lot of this stuff is like very. I mean, it's a refresher. A lot of things I remember, but a lot of things I don't. And plus, I'm watching it with a closer eye. I'm watching it with a more of a prepper eye now, whereas before, you know, I was a novice in prepping. I didn't really know what I was watching. I didn't know what I was looking at. My neighbor had a PVC greenhouse. The weather blew it away. Yeah, that's one thing I don't want. I don't want the weather to come through. I mean, you think about it. If you have planted and produced like 500, and it's easy to produce that amount of organic food, $500 to $1,000, $1,500 worth of food, and then a storm comes through and just takes your greenhouse away, and that can happen with any of them. But you know, that's what you have to weigh the pros and cons. And that's why I say if I was going to do a PVC greenhouse, I'm going to make it to the point where it's at least sturdy. Oh, you love that show? Yeah, we're doing a review of The Colony every week, and we've been doing it. This is 6 weeks in now. We're on season 1, episode 6, and we do the review every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So you know, feel free to come join us. Now we had to change the time this week because Jennifer and myself were out of town. But we did the review at 9:30 p.m. Saturday night. So feel free to go back and watch the review. Go watch the show, and then come in and help us review it. Listen, guys, I made it to my destination. Thank y'all so much for riding with me. And I will pick you guys up a little bit later. I'm going to do a shopping video today. So we'll do that tonight at 10 p.m. And, hey, if nobody else tells you today, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all be good. Be blessed.